Hello, I'm Jim Bratton. Today I want to talk about safety during grading and earth moving operations. Whatever your job is, you will be exposed to many hazards, including falls from equipment, public and construction traffic, trenching and excavations, and underground and overhead utilities. Dirt work is very labor intensive, causing stress and strain on the joints and muscles. Soft tissues injuries are very common. We will discuss grading and earth moving operations in the context of Focus 4+1 hazards. Falls, struck-bys, caught-in-betweens, electrocutions, and soft tissue injuries. We will also explain methods of controlling these hazards so that you will be prepared to do your job safely and help eliminate risk to you and to your coworkers. Falls in dirt work are most likely to occur as a result of a slip or trip while working on uneven ground or while getting on and off equipment. All falls, even same-level falls, can be serious. Slips and trips may result in contusions, fractures, and even fatalities. One of the greatest struck-by hazards in dirt work is the risk of being struck by construction vehicles and equipment. Heavy equipment is used in grading and earth moving, and often workers on foot are in close proximity. In many instances, accidents happen when equipment operators don't see the workers on foot, or when workers step into a blind spot or the path of moving equipment. Unfortunately, this happens much too often on road construction projects. Other struck-by incidents occur when excavators rotate and strike workers who walk into the swing radius. Workers may also be struck by objects falling from passing vehicles or equipment, or hoisted loads falling. Even a small piece of material in an unprotected eye can cause permanent damage. A major caught-in-between hazard in dirt work is exposure to rotating or moving parts on equipment. Workers also risk being caught between trucks and other equipment or stationary objects. Excavations, too, pose hazards in dirt work. Trench collapses have taken the lives of many workers and seriously injured others. Workers in dirt grading and earth moving risk exposure to electrical shock when equipment strikes an overhead power line or underground utilities. Lightning strikes also pose a significant hazard. Grading and earth moving operations are very labor intensive, and workers may suffer soft tissue injuries. These may be caused by frequent reaching, carrying, pushing, pulling, digging, or vibration. Also, jumping or stepping off equipment and loading in uneven dirt may cause ankle and knee injuries. The hazards we've just discussed, falls, struck-bys, caught-in-betweens, electrocutions, and soft tissue injuries, can be prevented in grading and earth moving operations. Key to prevention is a hierarchy of hazard controls, including engineering controls, administrative controls, and personal protective equipment, in that order. For example, engineering controls used to reduce fall exposure include providing adequate lighting, warning of open excavations, ensuring that truck and equipment steps are in place and in good condition, and using steps with non-skid surfaces. To help reduce struck-by hazards, it's important to provide proper systems of traffic control and ensure the use of backup alarms or proximity warning devices. Good housekeeping can help minimize the potential for dangerous flying or falling objects. Caught-in-betweens, another serious hazard in dirt moving, can be prevented by proper guarding of rotating equipment. Securing open excavations with shoring, sloping, or trench boxes can also help reduce the potential for dangerous soil or structural collapses. Serious electrical hazards can be reduced or removed by de-energizing or relocating utility lines. Administrative controls focus on implementing safe work procedures, such as traffic control to separate workers on foot from workers on equipment, and worker rotation and relief schedules so that no one performs the hottest jobs for too long a period. Electrical exposures can be controlled by locating overhead and underground power lines before using equipment in the vicinity. Administrative controls also emphasize using safe work practices to avoid potentially hazardous exposures. To prevent falls, be careful when walking on muddy, wet, or icy surfaces, and watch your step when walking on irregular ground. When climbing on or off a truck or equipment, use the steps and handholds while facing the machine. To help prevent struck-by incidents, always be aware of your surroundings and watch for moving equipment. Use spotters when working around backing equipment or overhead power lines. And watch out for equipment that may be lifting and moving loads. A piece of swinging equipment or a dropped load can cause serious injury or even death. Avoid caught-in-between injuries by not removing or altering any safety guards on machinery or equipment. Watch for pinch points while working with machines and equipment, and while loading and unloading materials. Prepare for work by stretching to help protect yourself from soft tissue injuries. Avoid poor posture and using awkward positions for any length of time. Change positions frequently. Use proper lifting techniques and take advantage of mechanical equipment to move heavy objects. The final method of hazard control is the hierarchy of controls in personal protective equipment. When you're working on a road construction site, always wear basic protection, sturdy boots with slip-resistant soles, hard hat, and high-visibility clothing. Wear eye, face, and head protection to prevent injuries from falling or flying objects. If you do a lot of lifting and carrying, wear gloves and shoulder pads. Knee pads can be helpful too. Wear additional foot protection when operating jackhammers, jumping jacks, or walk behind rollers, for example. Grading and earth-moving operations can expose workers to many hazards: falls, falling objects, moving vehicles and equipment, and energized power lines, to name a few. By paying attention to controls for traffic, as well as the safe work practices discussed in this program, you can help avoid injury and improve safety and productivity in your workplace. Remember, wherever and whenever you're working, do your best to stay safe. It's part of your job, and you owe it to yourself and your family.